Good evening. The word of the day is magnet. As I may have mentioned in the past, I have a tractor that's fairly new to me. And I was doing some of the first required maintenance today, and I ran into a problem. The manual recommended that you change the engine oil in the filter and also change the hydraulic oil filters. But you didn't have to change the hydraulic oil. Change the engine oil, but not the hydraulic oil. So I went to get the parts I needed to do this. I was talking to the parts man, and I asked him, how much hydraulic oil will I need? I know I'll probably lose some when I change those filters. He said, depends on how fast you can change them. I said, oh. I said, well, you better give me a couple of gallons in, because I don't know how fast I'll be. So I bought a 2.5 gallon jug of hydraulic oil for this new tractor, thinking and hoping that I could get those two filters off and back on without losing more than 2.5 gallons. Well, I tried to change those filters today, and they have something different that I've never encountered on a filter before. Now, I've had tractors with magnets in them before to catch metal filings to keep them from going through the system and tearing up the hydraulic system. But I've never had a tractor with a magnet that is on the filter. And I asked him about this. I said, is there a magnet on the filter? I know it says there's a magnet on there. He said, yes, each filter comes with a magnet. I said, okay, maybe that's why they're so expensive, because they were pretty expensive. So anyway, I thought the magnet was attached to the filter. No, it's just stuck on the filter, and it holds itself to the filter magnetically. But when you remove the old filter, the magnet doesn't necessarily come off with the filter. It stays on the tractor because there's more metal there. So I'm trying to hurry up and remove the old filter and get the new one on there, and I did not realize that the magnet stayed in place. And when I got the new filter on there, try as I might, and it tightened it up just as much as I could, and I know you're only supposed to tighten oil filters hand tight, I could not make it stop leaking, and I could not figure out why it would not seal. And so in the meantime, I'm losing more and more and more of this expensive hydraulic oil that I didn't buy enough of. So, because of that magnet that was in the wrong place, I had to back up and make a new plan. My first thought was, I've got to get this thing tight enough to seal it. And I've got a big pair of channel lock pliers that I can use to remove an oil filter. I don't like to tighten up an oil filter with them, because remember I said, I know they're only supposed to be hand tight, but I thought I got to do something. So I started tightening up with those pliers. And in the process of that, I damaged the filter because I bent up the canister on the outside. And I still couldn't stop the oil leaking. So finally I said, well, I think I'm just going to have to drain all the oil and go buy some more of that very expensive oil. So I started loosening up that filter that I had put on there that I couldn't seal, and had a bucket under there to catch the oil, thinking I'll just catch what runs out, and then I'll figure out what to do. And I found my problem. The magnet on the old filter was still on there, and the magnet on the new filter was on the new filter, and you can't seal it with two magnets on there. So, because that magnet was stuck in the wrong place, I lost, about $150 worth of oil today. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm glad the magnet's there, because this is supposed to catch particles that might damage the tractor later on. But now I know, and I've learned a lesson that I will not forget anytime soon. Magnets will stick to a bigger piece of metal before they'll stick to a smaller piece. And you have to be careful when you're changing things to make sure you're doing it right, because tomorrow I've got to go buy a bunch of new oil and spend some more money that I wasn't planning on spending. What can we learn from this? Sometimes you can be doing your job and be in the right place and still be in the way. That magnet that was on there doing its job was still in my way, and it caused me to have a problem. So if you're stuck to somebody, Sometimes you might just need to get out of the way so everybody can have a great day.